Alright guys, this is how you change your starter in a 2005 Chrysler Sebring. I'm not sure what other years this applies to. I'll look online and probably put it in the description. First thing you want to do first is start with taking your O2 sensor off, because your starter is actually right there. And in order to get to that, you need to take this bracket off, this motor mount bracket. Now, first thing, like I said, to do is take your O2 sensor off. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. Alright guys, once you get your O2 sensor broken loose, just take it and keep twisting it off until it comes all the way out. Another thing to do too would be to disconnect your plug that is right up there. Alright guys, I got the O2 sensor out, and I figured instead of trying to unclip this, I just pulled it out of the engine bay like this, and I think that'll be fine. Just when you screw it back in, make sure to turn it counterclockwise a couple times, and then screw it in, make sure your wires are all pretty much straight. I mean, ain't really too big of a deal. Alright, I'll come back when I got more. Okay guys, so next thing you want to do is take your motor mount out. Just do that. I would take this bolt out right here. That bolt is a 15mm, and it's on there pretty tight, so I would suggest using a breaker bar with it. When you do it too, since you're taking the bolt out that supports the engine, I would have a jack and put some pressure just on the bottom of the motor, just so it has something to relieve on. And I'll come back when I get that bolt out. Alright guys, after you get that bolt out, go ahead and go underneath your car, and there will be 3 bolts right there. 1, 2, 3. These bolts go all the way up to that motor mount attached to your car. You take those out, that motor mount up top will be loose. Now, after that's loose, we also need to take out 3 bolts on the motor mount that goes to the engine itself, which is 1 right here, 1 right there, and the 3rd one is the really hard one to get to. I don't know if you guys can see this. Maybe not. It is actually right there. Let's get some better light in here. See it right there. You gotta take that one out right there. Best way to do that, I suggest, is to use a wrench, and after you get it so far out, just use your hand and take the rest of that one out. Alright guys, after a whole bunch of wiggling and jiggling, I was able to get this mount that goes to the car, goes to the car's frame, out by wiggling it and pulling it up and out of the hole. This one was harder to do. I could not get it up. You have to go down, and there's this shield that goes on it, something like that. And I tried bending it, as you can see, a little bit, and that didn't really work out so well to try to still wiggle out down low. So there's 3 10mm bolts that go on there, and I just wiggled it enough so I could take the bolts out. Took the bracket, or this little heat shield off, and this bracket just slid right out of the bottom, nice and easy. No, these are all 15mm bolts. The one that goes through here is a 15, the 3 here are 15mm, and the 3 on this mount are 15mm. Remember, you got one there, there, and this one goes in the side. This one's just a big, yeah, big PITA, pain in the ass. So, yeah. I'll come back when we take a look at the starter. Alright guys, we got to the starter. We can see it a lot easier now. What's next is to take the starter out, and in order to do that, we need to take, I believe it's just one bolt out, because it's this bolt right here. Take that bolt out, that goes to the starter. This right here, I believe that's just like a guidance dowel. I'm not sure if there's a dowel pin in this block that just the starter slides onto. But the third bolt for starter, you see it right there in that upper corner right there? There's no bolt there because that is the side bolt that we took out from up top that goes to that bracket. So it goes through the bracket, through your motor, and into the starter to bolt that on. So that one bolt goes through, again, that bracket to your engine block and actually threads into your starter. So you only actually have to take off this one bolt for the starter to come off. Alright guys, I'll be back and I'll explain a little bit more later. Alright guys, so this is the new starter that we are putting into it. It's a Reman, but it'll work fine. As I was explaining earlier, the bolts, how it works is, go grab that bracket and I'll show you guys a little better. So, your bracket sits in your car something like this, right? Sits up like that. This bolt right there is the side bolt that we took out, one that goes into the motor block. Now, how this is set is, it goes, sorry guys, it's hard to do this with just one hand. It goes, your bolt through this hole, and your starter, I believe, sits like this. Just like this. So the bolt goes through here, goes through your bracket, through your block that's right here, and I believe it heads into your starter right here. As you can see, your threads right there. So we're gonna get the old starter out and I will do a side-by-side comparison. Alright, I'll be back later guys. Alright guys, I got the old starter out finally. I recommend taking these off before you unbolt that final bolt. That way when you do pull that last bolt out, it'll just slide right out. This was pretty hard to get off. It clips into somewhere. I think it might be on the car itself. I can't remember. Actually, it might just go right there. Actually, I think it went right there. Yeah, it went to that starter. It just kind of pops in there. Yeah. So that's the old one. That's our new one. You know, looks pretty identical. See the see how well it is. Okay. Because the starter itself is good, I believe. It's just, you know, that all your architecture, or how do you call that? Your aperture? I think it's the aperture on them. There Alright guys, another thing too with this old starter, you can see this aperture arm. See how loose that is? So nice and tight this one is, I can't even move it. So, yeah, it's a worn out starter, but the aperture arm wasn't the cause of this. You know, it's something to do internally with either your starter solenoid or starter itself. But yep, right, guys, there it is. New starter's in. Just do pretty much the reverse of taking it out, and remember, just be patient and keep wiggling stuff around. Make sure you don't have any loose bolts or anything anywhere else, and I'll finish this video up with a startup video. Alright, thanks guys. Hey guys, one last thing too. If you get your starter and it still does not want to start, just to click and doesn't run, if you notice there's a black connector right there that goes to your starter. That wire is your signal wire to tell your starter to turn over, to turn your car on. Well, to get it to turn over and run. And mine came loose, and I couldn't figure out why the car would not start till I came back to check my connections and noticed that wire was loose and came off again. If your car has these problems of cranking but not starting and all of a sudden it starts, it could possibly be your starter, but more than likely it is. What I do suggest is to check that wire first, just to make sure, for who knows what reason, it is not loose and causing you problems. So the first step I would do is to check that wire and then replace your starter. And yep, that's it guys. Thanks for watching the video. Comment, rate, and subscribe.